way, people come up for that.
Referencing California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. A lot of Americans will pay tribute today to Charlie Kirk, weeks after he was assassinated during a speech in Utah.
This would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. President Trump announced the day after he was shot and killed last month.
I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
It's the highest civilian honor in the United States. His widow, Erica Kirk's, accepting the medal on her husband's behalf at the White House. And there are memorial events being held around the country.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. That White House ceremony, but 4 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh, let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go!
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Well, the Senate plans another vote today, trying to end a stalemate over federal funding.
On day 14 of the government shutdown, both sides remain dug in. Republicans have put a stopgap measure to reopen the government on the floor several times, but it's failed to get 60 votes to break the Senate filibuster.
Unfortunately, they've made the decision to take a my way or the highway approach.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are calling on Republicans to negotiate as Democrats are pushing for an extension of expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits. Republicans argue it's a complicated issue that should be dealt with after the government reopens. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
There are new tariffs that took effect this morning on more imports. President Trump imposing a 25% charge on kitchen cabinets, vanities, and upholstered wooden furniture, 10% on softwood timber and lumber. On Wall Street, stocks could drop. Dow futures down more than 200 points the morning after surging up 587 after Friday's even bigger sell-off. In the baseball playoffs, another win for the defending champion Dodgers.
Blake Snell was dominant in Game 1 of the NLCS, but he had to sweat out the ninth inning.
Terang, a swing and a miss, and Blake Trinan closes the door.
Sound courtesy of TNT Sports as the Dodgers got out of a bases-loaded ninth inning jam and beat the Brewers 2-1. Snell completely shut down Milwaukee, allowing just one hit in 8 innings of work while striking out 10. And the Mariners are 2 wins away from advancing to the World Series for the first time. Seattle beat Toronto 10-3 on Monday to take the first 2 games of the American League Championship Series on the road.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan. There were also 2 Monday Night Football games. The Chicago Bears kicked the last-second field goal in a 25-24 win over the Washington Commanders after the Atlanta Falcons beat the Buffalo Bills 24-14. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio. It is October 14th, 2025. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. We got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. He's on standby. Join us at Radio Para Mi. It's a free app. You can listen on your smartphone right now. Celebration at SpaceX at Starbase, Texas, there near Brownsville, celebrating another successful Starship launch. SpaceX saying that yesterday's test flight achieved some major goals. They were able to deliver some payload into space. The 11th test flight also saw the Super Heavy booster execute a unique landing burn that's going to be used sometime in the future. And they were also successful in reigniting their Raptor engines in space. It's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. McAllen City Councilman Rodolfo Rudy Castillo is scheduled to be in federal court today for a bond hearing. Castillo surrendered to the feds back in early October after He was charged with money laundering and smuggling goods out of the U.S., accused of paying an undercover agent more than $20,000 to have some used clothing smuggled into Mexico. Castillo was originally given a bond of $100,000, $10,000 cash deposit. The feds appealed that decision, leading to today's hearing. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. President Trump wants to protect American auto manufacturing, so he's working on a new tariff.
The president says commercial trucks made in Mexico will be subject to 25% tariffs. Glenn Hammer, who heads the Texas Association of Business, says this is a big deal. Most medium and heavy-duty trucks come from south of the border. Volvo is building a $700 million factory in Monterrey.
For the United States to win the economic and military race against China, we need the strongest possible North America.
He's fresh back from a trade mission to Mexico, and he says all they talk about is tariffs.
That's Michael Board with that report. Here's Bill McLean. Texas getting a dozen more miles of border wall.
The Department of Homeland Security has awarded construction contracts to private companies to build more than 60 miles of new steel barriers along the border between Texas and Mexico. Some of the new wall segments will go up near El Paso, and some will go up near Del Rio. The feds will also install barriers in the Rio Grande itself in Cameron County. Most of the funding comes from the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill that was passed by Congress this past summer.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News, and an amazing number coming in from Amazon. Amazon saying that they will be hiring 250,000 people in the U.S. ahead of the holidays.
Amazon is looking for full-time, part-time, and seasonal workers for its fulfillment and transportation teams. Employees can earn on average $23 per hour plus benefits. The company says new job opportunities are posted weekly from October through December. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 7:09. It is AccuWeather time, and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina join us. I want to say thank you, though, to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Certified dealer for Purina liquid feed is Martin Farm and Ranch. You got any questions? Ask Dougie. Yeah, he'll help you out. It's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina joining us, and the pattern, I guess, it's staying the same for at least this week, right? I went fishing yesterday at AccuWeather.com, seeing if there was any change to Texas weather, like Central Texas, San Antonio, like us. Right? And I noticed like midweek next week, the temperatures change in many areas of Texas midweek next week. So I guess, what is that, like the next real cool front?
Yeah, it looks like front coming by.
Week away.
I mean, Sunday, it looks to make its closest approach to us. It may squeak through like early Thursday or early Monday, but
from northern portions of the state, though, right?
Yeah, it's trying to get to us, but I think it may like just pull straight eastward once it gets a little further to our north. So it may not quite make it through us, but with another strong low forming up in the leeward side of the Rockies there out in the plains, that could drag another cool front to us as we head toward the mid to end part of next week. So certainly the opportunity is there as the pattern starts to shift a little bit with the stronger lows starting to form up in the the lee side of the Rockies. There's even some snow forecast in the Rockies next week. So
interesting. Okay. Showers you put in the forecast. What would you peg that at? 20, 30% or what? Maybe the cities or ranch country or what?
Yeah, today, probably a 30-40% chance of showers. And then it's going to be like a whiff. After that, everything else is just quiet the rest of the week.
Sure. You peg the temperatures at the upper 80s, low 90s. Well, that's for everybody, right? From the coast to the western portion.
Yeah. That's where we should be here through much of the week, honestly, hovering in that section. It's going to start to warm up a little bit as we head toward the weekend.
Okay. Look, I got to make note of this. So it's already October 14th to more the 15th. No tropical system. Very, very quiet. We're pretty much finished in the western portion of the Gulf. Somebody on the East Coast or Florida, they might still see something. I mean, there was another 6 weeks left in tropical season, but we're done in the Western Gulf. Amazing. Nothing for us this year.
I mean, nothing even formed up in the Gulf and moved eastward.
Crazy. That is amazing. I have to call Bastardi to see when the last time was that he saw something like that. Okay, and on the menu today, lots of sugar. So we're go get your diabetes medicine, or because it's a real sugar day and National Dessert Day. It's just very general, like choose a dessert. So it's all going to be sugary. So that's what's on the menu for today. So what dessert would you choose if you had a chance? I know it might be too early in the morning to think. Sugar.
I do love me some. I love ice cream, but my favorite kind of go-to dessert, if I can get it, is like a creme brulee.
Oh
yeah, because that's special because I don't often get those. Though I think it's at Aldi. Do you guys have Aldi down there?
No, buddy. I can't even tell you how close it might be. I know I saw some in the Southwest, the desert Southwest. But
yeah, Aldi has little take-home ones that you can make, and I got a little blowtorch here at home from doing some plumbing. You know, I used to live in a 100-year-old colonial house that had that forced hot water heat, so I had to do plumbing occasionally.
So you got a little.
So I got a little blowtorch, so I can blowtorch
to
flambe the creme brulee there,
and then bring it into the kitchen to
voila,
burn the sugar. Oh, that is so strange. Hey, how'd the house burn down? Oh, I was burning some sugar, the sugary crust for my creme brulee.
I was putting a little crisp on the creme brulee.
Yeah, explain that to the insurance adjuster. All right, pal. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. The time is 7:13. Highs today like 89 to low 90s. That's the highs. 30% chance of rain for South Texas. If you get some rain, you'll be the lucky one. Again, 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. A heads up for kids applying to college. You got a chance for incoming college students to apply for free this week.
This is Texas Free College Application Week, where state colleges and universities will waive their application fees. Back in the spring, Texas lawmakers passed legislation to require this. It's available wherever you are in your college journey, from a soon-to-be freshman to a transfer student. Applications have to be submitted through the Apply Texas website, again, from today through Sunday night.
Kristen Yates with that report. And the legacy of Charlie Kirk continues to make waves in Texas politics.
There is a youth movement in the Republican Party following the assassination of the conservative activists, and experts predict they will all be voting in the upcoming midterm election.
They get a lot of flack because they're the selfie generation and they're always on TikTok, but they really want to make a difference.
Christian Collins, who founded the Texas Youth Summit, says that Kirk made it cool to be involved in politics. The question remains, will they turn out to vote? Historically, the youth vote has only been a tiny fraction of turnout in elections.
Time is 7:15. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Going to share a conversation I recently had with Dante Gagliazzi. He's the head of all the organizations, the veggies and the fruits in the area. It is the start of their season, looking at a lot of imports coming across those international bridges soon. How much? How many millions of pounds daily? All that fascinating information. Water. We need more water, and a status report on that and how it's affecting growers. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic, available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Calendar at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
If you've been in a car accident, then you better get ready for a fight. You need a force for justice. The J. Gonzalez Law Firm. No other law firm in the Valley has more offices, more resources, and reaches more people every day for over 20 years, fighting for the people of the Valley. 1-800-CAR-CARNAGE. The J. Gonzalez Law Firm. A force for justice.
Saturday, your Fightin' Texas Aggies visit the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage begins at 1:30 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potterme app. Gig 'em, Aggies!
Aggie football on 710 KURV is a service this season of many supporters, including JP and Jeff over at Amigo Power Equipment. Big thank you as well to Art and all the gang at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. And join us for Houston Texan football. It's a Monday night engagement next Monday night. Pregame 8:30 against Seattle on 710 KURV. Okay, we're serving up some. Okay, we're serving up something healthy for breakfast right now. Let's get some fruits and veggies, the good stuff. Dante Gagliazzi, as CEO, president of the Texas International Produce Association, joining us again. Welcome back, Dante. I know a few days back you guys were celebrating the start of produce season now. So tell me about that event near the Far International Bridge.
Yeah, Sergio. Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you for starting out the morning with fruits and vegetables.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, this week we got a chance.
Which, by the way, means that producer Freddie is eating nothing for breakfast because he doesn't do fruits and veggies. Maybe a little bit of fruit, but no, he doesn't like veggies. That's right. I'm sorry. So continue with your thoughts.
Listen, first off, you got to tell Fred, you got to honor the state of Texas and eat the state fruit, the grapefruit, because it's in season now. Come on.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
so some grapefruit, Freddie. What do you say? Yes, grapefruit. He says he'll put a lot of sugar on it. Come on, man.
This isn't California grapefruit. Texas grapefruit doesn't need that sugar, man.
That's right. All right, so enough with Freddie now. So what happened a few days back? Big celebration for the.
That's right. So we got a chance to celebrate the fresh produce that's coming across from Mexico. 22 million pounds. Fruits and vegetables are coming from Mexico through Texas every single day, Sergio. Something 220,000 truckloads a year, more than 200 different commodities. So yesterday's celebration at the bridge, this whole week is really about the importance of that fruits and vegetables joining what we grow here in Texas and making our whole region kind of this shopping basket or this grocery store for the grocery stores, right? We are where they come to get their fruits and vegetables. And that celebration was honoring the people, especially here in our community, that make that all happen.
Yeah. And quite the economic impact was, as you said, 22 million pounds daily crossing. And do the math on that, what that means on a yearly basis, especially the trucks coming in. And they come in all the time. Doesn't have to be Monday through Friday, right? They do come pretty much every single day, bringing in produce and on a seasonal basis. They bring in produce. The economic impact leads to like warehousing and cold storage, refrigeration, all those things. The industry has a big footprint here in South Texas.
Sergio, you're right. For every dollar of fruits and vegetables that come across the border, we have $2.40 of economic impact to the U.S. That means we're actually making money for the U.S. by moving those fruits and vegetables. And the beautiful thing is it joins what we grow here in Texas. And it just makes our region even more important. More than 300,000 Texas jobs are tied to the importing of fresh produce, plus the $1 billion of fruits and vegetables we grow in this state. I mean, we're a powerhouse, and that's what this celebration was about.
Is the industry growing? Is trade and imports are they growing? Exports as well, and in light of current policy from DC, the tariffs and trade threats and all those things taking place.
So, we are seeing the imports do continue to grow. But, Sergio, that growth has been very small. And it hasn't been because of lack of demand. It hasn't been because of global trade, although that has created issues and impacts. What's actually creating the smaller rather than bigger growth is the water scarcity, right? Mm-hmm. We've got a water scarcity issue in Mexico. We have a water scarcity issue here in South Texas. It's really hard to grow water intensive crops like fresh produce when you don't have that resource.
Tell me about the inspections. Once they hit Mexican produce, once it hits the international bridge, for example, here at FAR. So what inspections are they subject to? Has there been an increase in delays? And again, we'll go back to the whole tariff thing, I'm sure that once they're trying to cross the bridge and you start involving custom brokers to help out, it's like, what you got and how many people you got to inspect this and count the numbers of peas and carrots and all those things you have in there in order to properly tax them under the new administration.
That's right. So yeah, it's a very involved process. You've got CBP, Customs and Border Protection, is doing the initial inspection. They're making sure you've got your kind of general level compliances. They're looking for bugs or diseases you're not supposed to have. U.S. Department of Agriculture is involved in those inspections. The Food and Drug Administration is looking for, are they using the right pesticides? Are they keeping illegal chemicals out? And then, of course, to your point, Sergio, you've got U.S. custom brokers and Mexican custom brokers watching the valuation, making sure documents are in order. This year's trade environment has created a lot more compliance efforts. So that means additional costs are associated. So, people are looking at more expensive fresh produce on the shelves. That's part of that increase is because of the complexity.
Dante Galeazzi is CEO president of the Texas International Produce Association. They were celebrating the start of produce season, had a big powwow with all the stakeholders in FAR just a few days back. So Ansel Lewis might be going full tilt commercial, like north and south, sometime, I don't know, maybe next spring, Q1, Q2, perhaps. We're looking at a 2-year delay, but there will be opportunities for crossing there. Donna is working, I believe, on their own international connection sometime in the future. Is there enough volume of produce in order to spread the love, or do you think FAR will carry us for many years? Because let me go back to the refrigeration, storage sites, and all the logistics that they have near the bridge.
Sergio, I think FAR is going to continue to carry us, but we absolutely need all these other bridges. Fresh produce is going to continue to increase the volume that we see coming from Mexico, right? Whether it's land costs, whether it's the water resource, whether it's labor, we are going to grow both production in the U.S. and in Mexico. And so we need all these crossing points, right? We got to get the produce across fast. But I think FAR has infrastructure that, they have spent decades building up. And you even pointed it out, we have more cold rooms coming online at FAR. So I think that bridge is still, and it's going to remain the leader for a long time. But all these other bridges are doing the right thing in increasing their infrastructure and improving it because there is enough business to go around and then some.
Are there any new tariffs on the horizon? Every now and then we see a little headline pop up, new tax on tomatoes or avocados under fire, something like that. Do you see anything on the horizon? Anything new?
Not fresh produce specific.
Okay.
As you know, the U.S. is still negotiating with a little over 120 countries on different trade agreements. We've got the USMCA renegotiation is going on. That's got to be done by July.
Yeah.
There is room, or there is not room, but there is certainly a chance that whether it be the U.S. or the other country they're dealing with, we will see produce come up in some of these trade agreements. We've seen it already. We've seen mention of grapefruit or melons or leafy greens in some of these trade agreements. So nothing at the moment, Sergio, but that doesn't mean people shouldn't keep their eyes open and they're peeled to what's coming out of DC.
10-4. Dante Galeazzi, CEO, President, Texas International Produce Association. They're celebrating the start of produce season, which, by the way, why now, Dante? Is this like the seasonal planting season for Mexico or what?
Well, for both Texas and Mexico.
Okay.
The U.S. really, our main production happens from April through about September. And you think about it, that's when the U.S. has our best set of weather across the largest scope of the country. Now that it's starting to get colder, you're seeing freezes, you're seeing, plenty of cold evenings in the north. Down here in South Texas, we're just finally getting cooled off, right? We're getting into the high 80s, low 90s finally after plenty of weeks in the hundreds. Mexico's in the same spot. So we are entering the time period where our weather locally is more favorable for fruit and vegetable production. So we are beginning our season here in Texas. Mexico, likewise, it has very similar weather conditions to South Texas, is starting their season as well.
So it's harvest time. In other words,
it's harvest.
Yeah, it's fall. It's harvest time. If I ask you Name me real quick some of the top items, fruits, veggies that come in on those trucks from Mexico. What comes to mind real quick? Like 3, 4 of them.
Oh man, I got the top 5 for you here right now.
All right.
Avocados, tomatoes, limes, mangoes, and believe it or not, cucumbers.
Oh, that's a great spread. Oh my goodness. So mix all those. That make one mean salsa. All you're missing is the hot peppers. That's good stuff. Water. So a few months ago, the big celebration on Mexico finally agreeing to pay back or I guess in math, I guess right over or release some water, a combination of that. Right. I know Mexico over the summer, they got a lot more rain than we did in northern portions of Mexico. Do you think we should revisit the last agreement? Say, hey, folks, you got a lot in your dams and in northern Mexico now. How about you release a little more and get closer to finally paying off that debt? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Sergio. I think something's got to happen. I think this is a perfect opportunity for the U.S. and Mexico to come together and to tie the treaty to USMCA. It's water is an input, just like labor is an input, just like environmental law, just like quotas and tariffs. All of those things manage trade. Water between our countries also is an element of trade. So it makes sense that it be tied together because, it is so important, not just for farming, not just for our region, but for a way of life. You can't survive without water, and 90% of the fresh water we need in the valley comes from the river. So it is absolutely an opportunity to tie the treaty to USMCA. And that way, then we're not continuing the cycle that we have fought for decades. We're finally moving onto a path where everyone understands you do X or Y and Z happen.
I want to get your quick thoughts as we're ready to let you go. So the Ag Commissioner a few days ago announced that there are some investors, I think they're local, the effort to resurrect the sugar mill, the now dead sugar mill that I think they already sold off all the equipment and it's all gone. So I don't know. I guess they're starting at zero, trying to get the land and all that. And I think they mentioned that. So your thoughts on that news, because we're looking at another very thirsty crop at a time when, still water's an issue and all that. So what do you hear?
Well, I mean, look, anytime you have diversification or options for the farmers, that's a great thing, right? You don't want everybody growing the same thing because all it takes is a saturation of that market and everybody loses. So you want everybody growing something different or growing different commodities. It's a great opportunity for us to have another crop that we can grow down here, sugar, and our folks still be profitable. But yeah, you alluded to it. We still have the challenge of water. So I go back to my previous comments. If we are able to create both infrastructure and systems that support ensured stability of water in our region, that makes farming a future. It makes a future for our manufacturing, but mostly makes a future for our citizens. So sugar is a great opportunity, but we've got to solve this water issue.
I find it interesting as well that they're making, the announcement of such a potentially huge investment, land and equipment, everything starting from ground zero for a commodity, a crop. The price is it that good? Is sugar that expensive? I don't think it is. Louisiana, I think Louisiana, right? That's the state has a lot of the crop out there. So I'm wondering, money-wise, is it that bountiful, beneficial, potentially profitable sugarcane, considering the price of sugar, the market price?
Yeah. So look, the best way I can explain this in the shortest time period is you got to think about farming a lot like stocks, right? Mm-hmm. Not all the stocks are going to go up at the same time and not all the stocks are going to go down at the same time, right? Different companies create different fluctuations. So the same thing happens. Maybe corn and cotton have good prices one year. Sugar has a bad price the next year. Maybe that hurricane, and I do not wish this on them, but maybe a hurricane comes through Louisiana, True. Knocks out the sugar. Yes, all of a sudden it's the other way around, right? Yeah. Sugar prices are high and Texas wins. Sergio, the fact of the matter is prices come up and down all the time on farm commodities, all the time. That's why diversity is so important, because if you're growing a couple crops, you're more likely to be in a crop that gets you money than to be in a bunch of crops that don't, or to be in one crop that doesn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got producer Freddie here, who's always willing to buy a lot of sugar to put on his grapefruit. Yeah, they'll always have a customer down here with Reddy. Dante, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. CEO, President of the Texas International Produce Association, Dante Galeazzi.
Thanks,
thank you, brother. The Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. In other news, seems that Americans are forecast to cover about 55% of the cost associated with new tariffs.
A Goldman Sachs analysis suggests American consumers will bear the major portion of the costs, as American businesses and foreign exporters will take on 22% and 18% of the costs, respectively. The Trump administration has imposed tariffs on trading partners around the world and claimed that foreign countries will pay the costs from the levies. However, data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics confirmed last month that consumer prices in August were up 2.9% relative to last August. I'm Jim Roop.
And week 3 of the shutdown in D.C., House Speaker Mike Johnson, new comments from him warning the current government shutdown could be one of the longest in history. News Talk 710 KURV is your station for Texas A&M fighting Aggie football. We've got sports next on 710 KURV. You've drafted some plans for a new commercial site. Make sure that you have the roof that will protect you and operations and your clients from the elements, from all that rain, all that water. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is the name that you should remember and folks that you should call. I'm going to provide you a cell number in just a few seconds. You can call or text. Ask the good folks at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing to come check, see the current sites, the commercial sites that you have at this moment. See how waterproof you are. You know, with time, that roofing system that has been out of sight, out of mind, it likely has some weak spots. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, with 125 plus years of experience, cutting edge roof installation know-how and repair know-how. They know the potential weak spots for those commercial roofs of yours. So get them over to your property for free. Have a handshake. Get them up there. Let them check. Based on materials and age and the workmanship that went, they can tell you what the condition of the commercial roofing systems that you have. And for the plans that you've drafted for the new buildings, well, make sure to get Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing in the mix. Superior workmanship and materials always. And of course, those expected valued warranties as well. Cutting edge roof installation and repair technology, advanced waterproofing solutions. Trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Here's the number, 956-655-6178.
Are you tired of waiting hours in your doctor's waiting room? Sitting around waiting to see a doctor isn't fun, and we know your time is valuable. The good news is that the physicians at Rio Grande Pain Team can help. Rio Grande Pain Team helps patients find relief from chronic neck pain, back pain, migraine headaches, and joint pain. And at Rio Grande Pain Team, we schedule your visits accordingly. Rio Grande Pain Team recently added providers, and we utilize the latest in scheduling software so our patients are seen on time for their visits and treatments. There's no need to wait 5 hours in a physician's office. At Rio Grande Pain Team, you no longer have to live with chronic pain. Dr. Dennis Slavin can help and have you feeling better at last. Book your appointment now in Weslaco or McAllen by signing on to our website, feelingbetteratLast.com. That's feelingbetteratLast.com, or call 956-973-0565. That's 973-0565. 973-0565.
It's Monday Night NFL action as your Houston Texans visit the Seattle Seahawks. Kickoff at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
Monday night doubleheader. Bijan Robinson ran all over Buffalo, rushed for 170 yards, including a career-long 81-yard touchdown run to help the Falcons knock off the Bills 24-14 in Atlanta. Jake Moody kicked a game-winning 38-yard field goal as time expired to lift the Bears past the Commanders 25-24. Head coach Ben Johnson talks about Moody kicking the game winner in his team debut.
He's made big kicks in big games over the course of his career so far, so none of it was surprising. I think that's who he is, and I think that change of scenery was really good for him.
The Titans fired head coach Brian Callahan In baseball, Jorge Polanco and Julio Rodriguez each hit 3-run homers as the Mariners crushed the Blue Jays 10-3, take a 2-0 lead in the ALCS. Blake Snell tossed 8 scoreless, striking out 10. Dodgers held off the Brewers 2-1 in Game 1 of the NLCS. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says highs today should be upper 80s, low 90s at the moment. Let's see, it's 79, 80 degrees at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, and right across the water at Starbase, it's 79, 80, and 75 McAllen, Edinburgh Mission. Border Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. Again, go back to our website, and on the right-hand margin, you'll see the report. Let's see if they've updated these numbers. KURV.com, and for Brownsville is up first. So if you're driving back to Brownsville, 7 o'clock numbers. Let's see here. Yeah, they haven't changed. 45 minutes at B&M and Gateway. South of Harlingen, Los Angeles at 45. 7 o'clock report, 10 minutes at Veterans. So you might want to use that. And for McAllen, if you're driving back to McAllen, it's 35 minutes, 35 to 45 at all 3 bridges. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. And speaking of the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, our economic engine, yet another invitation to go to the website, portofbrownsville.com, and sign up for the free newsletter. There's so much news that is affecting all of us, all of our pocketbooks, whether it's the public sector, private sector, from contractors and all these jobs and all these materials and goods that need to come in and out of the port, to the public sector that we depend on the revenue, the business generation, the taxation of all that. It's the economic engine of the RGV. Discover how impactful it is in the economy and how its economic tentacles reach out to you. Find out the breaking news from the port, which is amazing. There are some projects on the horizon that are just mind-blowing. If you thought $18 billion worth of liquefied natural gas was just like a whopper, impressive news, there's another one on the way. It's a much smaller LNG outfit. They're almost done with a final investment decision. But then there's other projects, billions of dollars more on the way. Be the first to know. Might be a job or investment opportunity for you. The site, portofbrownsville.com. Sign up for the free newsletter.
It's hurricane season. The time to prepare is now. Stay ahead of the storm with Tropical Coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV, your trusted source for real-time updates. With resources from AccuWeather and the National Weather Service, we'll bring you the information you need to be ready and be prepared. Tropical Coverage 2025 is powered by Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, McAfee Agency, Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, and Vega Roofing.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters, is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. China has sanctioned 5 U.S. subsidiaries of South Korean shipbuilder Hanwha Ocean, escalating tensions with Washington. The order will prohibit Chinese organizations and individuals from doing business with the sanctioned companies. Shares of Hanwha Ocean plunged over 8% following the announcement. LG Electronics' India market cap has surpassed that of its parent company after the subsidiary shares soared on its debut. The IPO fetched $1.3 billion. Prime Database said that this is the most heavily subscribed major Indian IPO since Reliance Power's listing in 2008. Goldman Sachs said it has agreed to acquire Industry Ventures, a venture capital firm with $7 billion in assets under supervision. Goldman is paying $665 million in cash and equity and up to $300 million more based on the firm's future performance through 2030. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2026. Futures are moderately lower. That's your money now.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be 89 to 92, and we do have a chance of a shower in the area today. AccuWeather pegging at about 20-30%. Let's see who gets some rain later in the day. Right now, temperatures mostly in the upper 70s across South Texas, mid to upper 70s. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. We are also at Radio Para Mi. Go get that free app. Join us on your smartphone. It's called Radio Para Mi. Fox News up next. If you need to sell your home fast, the team that you should trust is the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. The only team that I'm calling to help sell our home is the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. If you need to sell your home quickly, like everybody else, you want to make sure that you squeeze all that capital, get the most money out of that property, that investment of yours. You need to work with my friends at the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. Pete, he's one of the real estate agents at the Ryan and Brian team, worked with a couple in San Juan to help them sell their home. They needed to relocate quick. The Ryan and Brian team, with their proven, aggressive, successful marketing approach, reaching so many people, so many potential home buyers every day, routinely selling homes real quick, really fast, and for the most money possible. That home I told you about in San Juan sold quick and for more than the asking price. That could be you, amigo. So if you need to sell quick for the most money, call the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. Here's the number, 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
Surprise leaks, power outages, or a busted AC on a 100-degree day? You don't need that stress. At Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, we've got you covered year-round with our Home Shield membership. You get priority service, exclusive discounts, annual system checkups, and real peace of mind. From clogged drains to flickering lights to keeping cool when it matters most, we're just a phone call away. Call Mighty Mike's today or visit callmightymike.com and ask about our Home Shield membership. Mighty Mike's, reliable, ready, right on time.
Some people say you can't spell destination without destiny. Truth is, a destination doesn't need a why, it needs a when. And that when is now. McAllen flies nonstop to destinations you're destined to love. Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, Orlando, Los Angeles, Austin, Mexico City, or the beaches of Cancun. With one-way flights starting at $100. Enjoy ticketless tap and fly parking, a full bar, and VIP lounge. Your summer destiny is a destination from McAllen International Airport. Fly above, beyond at flymfe.com.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on severe recurring headaches.
Headaches are very common and have many different causes. They range from being a nuisance to severely incapacitating, where the headaches are interfering with family, work, and enjoying life. If your headaches have become severe and occur 15 days or more a month, a new FDA treatment I have may help you. Botulinum toxin, or Botox, is now FDA approved for the treatment of migraine headaches. Botox is applied to specific target areas that have been mapped after years of research to be triggers of migraine headaches. This treatment is safe, office-based, and is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Botox not only makes you look better, but now, in my office, in under 15 minutes, Botox can make you feel better. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last.
Learn more about feeling better at last by signing on to feelingbetteratLast.com or call Dr. Slavin 973-0565.
Information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Thank you much for waking up with News Talk 710 KURV Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and Jason Caterina from AccuWeather, telling us that we've got about 20-30% chance of rain. Let's see who gets some rain later in the day. And highs today should be 89 to low 90s. Right now, temperatures mostly mid to upper 70s. News on 710 KURV is a service of Edinburgh CISD, along with UTRGV. Their collegiate high school is enrolling freshmen and sophomore students. For information, call 956-289-2300.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. 20 living hostages enjoying their reunion with their families. But what about the loved ones of the 24 dead hostages whose bodies were not returned by Hamas? Rotem Cooper is the son of a hostage killed by the terror group. He spoke to Fox.
Hamas is playing games and is not doing it in good faith. 4, it's a weird number, but it's bringing it exactly to half. 20 plus 4 is 24, which is half of the 48.
Fox's Trey Yanks.
We have learned the names of 2 of these individuals. One of them, Bipin Joshi from Nepal, who was working along the Gaza border on October 7th when he was kidnapped, and Guy Ilus, who was a sound technician attending the Nova Music Festival.
Day 14, partial government shutdown.
It's a huge strain on the finances of this country.
Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer, earlier on Fox Business, Senate will try and vote to end the stalemate later today. America's listening to Fox News.
It's 13 to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. Texas public school students are now being asked to help remember the Alamo, save the Alamo.
The restoration of the Shrine of Texas Liberty is pegged at $500 million. So to help, they've launched the History Heroes program, asking schools to raise funds.
Every single dollar raised through this campaign will go directly to the Remember the Alamo Foundation.
Alamo Trust President Kate Rogers says there will be prizes for kids who raise the most cash. This all comes at the same time as the State Board of Education looks to make changes to history classes. There's a push to put more of an emphasis on American exceptionalism.
And success for SpaceX yesterday, celebrating another successful Starship launch. Yesterday's launch, they were also successful in releasing some payload into space. They also did a unique landing in the Gulf that's going to be used in the near future. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us online at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app and listen on your smartphone.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drt'sprimarycare.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Valley knows the best talking news is on 710 KURV and KURV.com.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast, partly sunny, humid with a couple of afternoon showers. Highs a couple of degrees either side of 90 with an east wind at 6 to 12 miles an hour. Mainly clear tonight, lows dipping down to the low 70s, an east wind at 4 to 8 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, less humid, the high near 90 again for us Wednesday. Sunshine mixing with some clouds, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s Thursday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Presently, temperatures mid to upper 70s across South Texas. News on 710 KURV. A service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. After an amazing day yesterday celebrating the release of 20 Israeli hostages, Israel saying that they will continue to pressure the terrorist group Hamas until the bodies of all the dead Israeli hostages are returned. Only 4 bodies were returned yesterday over the past several days. SpaceX celebrating another successful Starship launch from Starbase yesterday. Amazon hiring 250,000 people ahead of the holidays. And at the White House, they will be hosting a celebration of Charlie Kirk's life today. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. If you're driving back to McAllen, not too bad, about 35 to 45 minutes at all 3 bridges. And if you're driving back to Brownsville, about 45 minutes at Gateway. Same thing at Los Indios, south of Harlingen. 15 at Veterans and 30 at B&N. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV, home to Texas A&M football. The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
Monday night doubleheader. Bijan Robinson ran all over Buffalo, rushed for 170 yards, including a career-long 81-yard touchdown run to help the Falcons knock off the Bills 24-14 in Atlanta. Jake Moody kicked a game-winning 38-yard field goal as time expired to lift the Bears past the Commanders 25-24. Head coach Ben Johnson talks about Moody kicking the game winner in his team debut.
He's made big kicks in big games over the course of his career so far, so none of it was surprising. I think that's who he is, and I think that change of scenery was really good for him.
The Titans fired head coach Brian Callahan. In baseball, Jorge Polanco and Julio Rodriguez each hit 3-run homers as America.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app, where local